Who would have thought? A girl once praised as the pride of her school, loved by teachers, admired by classmates, would become the center of scandal and ridicule overnight. My name is An Nhien. I used to be that model student, straight A's, class president, always polite and reserved. But everything collapsed. Because of a video. A private video. Barely a minute long. That turned my entire life into a nightmare. I still remember that morning. On my way to school. I felt eyes on me, strange, piercing, cold. Some people whispered behind my back. Some didn't even bother to hide their disgust. My phone buzzed non-stop. Messages. Notifications. Calls from unknown numbers. I didn't understand what was happening. Until I looked at my screen and saw it. A video. Of me. My heart stopped. My hands went cold. My breath caught in my throat. It was me. No doubt. In that dim, rented room. My face, clear as day. But I didn't remember ever being filmed. I never agreed to anything like that. So how could this exist? The moment I stepped onto school grounds, I knew nothing would be the same again. Eyes followed me like knives cutting into my skin. No one said a word. But their stares spoke volumes. My so-called friends avoided me. My teachers didn't even meet my gaze. I wanted to scream, it wasn't me. I didn't do this. But my voice was gone. Swallowed by shame and confusion. Then came the call from my mother. Not a word of comfort. No concern. Just a single sentence that shattered me. I saw it. Don't ever call me again. I collapsed onto a bench behind the school, curling into myself like a wounded animal. The pain was indescribable. Everything I had worked so hard to build, my reputation, my future, my identity, was reduced to ashes by a single, cruel act. I didn't go home that night. I wandered the city, hoping to disappear into the noise, into the shadows. But every screen, every whisper, every accidental glance felt like it was screaming at me. I was only 18. Just a girl. I wasn't strong enough for this. For a fleeting moment, I thought maybe death would be a release. That if I vanished, it would all go quiet. No more shame. No more stares. No more being treated like dirt. I climbed the stairs to the 10th floor of the old dorm building, tears streaming down my face, and gripped the cold railing, ready to let go. Then, a hand pulled me back. It was Min. He didn't say much. He didn't ask questions. He just held me tight, as if letting go would break something. He whispered, "I believe you. Don't give them what they want." In that moment, I realized I couldn't die. Not yet. Not when the person who destroyed me was still out there, untouched. So I started digging. Bit by bit. I went through the video frame by frame, analyzing the lighting, the angle, the positioning. It didn't feel accidental. It was staged, carefully planned, like someone had wanted me to be exposed, humiliated, ruined. Then I remembered. A party. My classmate's birthday. The drinks were flowing. And I remember feeling dizzy, off. Everything blurred after that. I never thought twice about it. Until now. There was only one person I suspected. Thursday KY. The richest, most popular girl in school. Beautiful. Entitled. Manipulative. She had always hated me. I was the scholarship kid, the charity case who outshined her in every way. Every compliment I received seemed to chip away at her pride. But I never imagined she'd go this far. So I pretended to be broken, silent, numb. I stopped fighting back, stopped responding to anyone online. And just like I thought, she got sloppy. She started talking more freely, even laughing about it in a group chat I secretly joined using a fake account. One night, I managed to record her voice, laughing, smug, dripping with venom. She's done. That little saint will never recover. Now everyone sees her for what she really is. A whore. That was all I needed. I sent the recording to the school board. to the media, and to an organization that defends victims of digital abuse. Everything exploded. Thursday KY was suspended. Her family was summoned by the authorities. Her father's business suffered. For the first time, she had to face the public, the same way I did. And me? I didn't heal overnight. The scars were still there. But I stood back up. I chose not to hide anymore. I chose to speak. Because I was never the villain in that video. I was the victim. And this is just the beginning of my story. They say the internet never forgets. That once something is out there, it lives forever, etched into the void, waiting to be pulled back up by anyone, anywhere, anytime. I learned that the hard way. Even after Thursday KY was exposed. Even after the school issued a public apology and expelled her. The whispers didn't stop. Some people still looked at me like I was damaged goods. Like I had done something to deserve it. They said, she must have done something wrong for that to happen. Or she wouldn't be in that situation if she wasn't that kind of girl. The cruelty didn't die, it just changed form. I had to learn how to exist in a world that wouldn't let me forget. But I also learned something else. Pain has a strange way of sharpening you. Of making you see people, really see them. The ones who stayed. The ones who reached out. Even when it was easier to look away. Min never left my side. He was there when I couldn't breathe through the panic attacks. When I woke up in the middle of the night. Choking on my own tears. When I didn't want to eat. Didn't want to speak. Didn't want to be seen. He reminded me of who I was before the video. Before the shame. Before the world twisted my name into something dirty. He reminded me that I was still that girl. Smart. Kind. Strong. I just needed time to find her again. I decided I couldn't stay silent. Not anymore. So I started writing. At first, it was just a journal. A place to dump my thoughts. My anger. My grief. But then I started sharing pieces of it, online. Anonymously. I wrote about what it felt like to be humiliated. To be abandoned by your own mother. To be stripped of your identity by something you didn't consent to. And something strange happened. People listened. Girls messaged me. Thanking me for speaking up. They said, this happened to me too. And I never told anyone. One girl even said, I was about to give up. But your words saved me. It was the first time I felt useful. Like maybe everything I went through wasn't just pain for the sake of pain. Like maybe there was purpose in it. I started working with an organization that helps victims of digital abuse. I shared my story, anonymously at first. But eventually, I stepped forward. I showed my face. I said my name. And I told the world what really happened. Yes. I was the girl in that video. No. I didn't consent to it. And no. I will not be shamed into silence. The internet may never forget. But neither will I. I'll never forget how it felt to be betrayed. How it felt to be erased. And how I had to rebuild myself from nothing. But I also won't forget the strength I found in the ruins. The people who helped me climb out. The fire that woke up in me when I decided enough was enough. I returned to school. Not that same school. Of course, there was no going back to that place. I transferred. A new city. A new start. But I wasn't the same girl who once walked the halls with her head held high, hoping to get into med school. No. I was different now. And maybe that was okay. People stared at me on the first day. But not because of a scandal. They stared because I walked in with confidence. Because my name was now known for something else, something powerful. The girl who stood up. The girl who fought back. One day, after a seminar I gave about cyber harassment, a girl came up to me. She looked barely 16. She couldn't even make eye contact when she spoke. She whispered, I think I'm going through what you went through. And I didn't know who to talk to until I found your story. I hugged her. In that moment, I knew, This is why I survived. This is why I'm still standing. Not to forget what happened, but to make sure no one else has to go through it alone. Because I am not a victim. I am a survivor. And this is just the beginning.